Hey guys, Chris here with the Brothers Boyd. I got Josh over on the other side there with me, and we have a special guest today. We have Brad Miller from the Grand Strand Comic-Con joining us today. We're gonna find out a little bit about what's going on with the Comic-Con and who's gonna be there, and kind of see if we can convince you guys to get down there and come see us and everybody else that's gonna be there. So welcome, Brad. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Thank you so much, guys. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just give us a kind of opening general, kind of idea what to look forward to if we're headed down to Myrtle Beach next weekend for the Comic-Con.
Well, I mean, basically anything for nerds. So that's what we try to, kind of cater to. I mean, we all are nerds. So that's what we actually, whether you like artwork, you like comic books, you like statues, celebrities, cosplaying. So we have a lot of, really cool guests coming in. We actually have Darth Vader. So Tom O'Connell, he plays Darth Vader right now in Obi-Wan Kenobi. He does a lot of the fight scenes and whatnot. But so he's joining us. We have Noah Hathaway from Treyu from Neverending Story. He was also Boxley in the original Battlestar Galactica, the little boy that had, yep, the little boy who actually had the orange dog in the original Battlestar Galactica. We have Night Mage.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Night Mage coming in. That's he's basically a world-renowned cosplayer. He's out of the Ohio area. He's actually a police officer, but he does this all for charity. He does some amazing, amazing outfits. So I don't even know what he's going to be dressing as. But if you get a chance to look him up, he's on Facebook. It's Night Mage with a K. We also have Brian Drummond. He did the voice of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. We have Joshua Seth. He did some voices in Digimon and a few other, animes. We just signed George Lowe. He's the voice of Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. So he's coming in with us. We also have Jeremy Palco. He played Andy in The Walking Dead. We have Matthew Axley, artist, actor. He's done a lot of, scenes in Gifted and a bunch of other TV shows, and he's an amazing artist as well. So we've got a really good influx, from, television and sci-fi and anime. That we also have, obviously the comic books. It's a Comic-Con, so you're not a Comic-Con if you don't have comic books. So we have some statues. People have some statues. There'll be pops. There'll be action figures, all that there. We're going to actually have a bunch of, artists, local artists, a couple of other artists coming in. Bud Root will be with us. He's the artist for Cave Woman. It's his own creation. Chris McJunkin, he's very popular in this area. He does some amazing work. And on top of that, we're also adding a couple little tweaks. So we actually have some like direct market sales coming in. So we have someone with Scentsy. We have someone with I think Color Street, the fingernail stuff. Yeah. Our way we look at it is not trying to sound chauvinistic, but I mean, how many times do you actually go to a show, with your wife, and you and the kids are going through all the comic books and having a blast, and the wife's 10 feet behind you, tapping her toes, ready to go. This way here, we want something for everybody. So, while you're thumbing through the comic books, she's walking over and doing that, or vice versa. You may like candles and you're not into comic books, but you might have a wife who loves Disney movies and she's actually over checking out stuff. So we want to have something fun for everybody. We want it's going to be enjoyable for the entire family. I mean, you can bring grandma can come with you, and the aunts and uncles, and I mean, it is Black Friday weekend, so it is Saturday and Sunday after Black Friday. But what other place can you go to get some of the coolest gifts for the collectors in your family?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like some people say, I don't know what to get my nerd family members. Come to the con, because you can find a little bit of. If you can't find it there, then they didn't need it in the first place. Is the way I feel about it.
Yeah, the two things that I always look at is one, I've always felt that Christmas is the time to get a gift that you want, not that you need. My wife will tell me all the time, well, get me socks, or we need bath towels, or we'll go buy them. If you need it, go get it. This is when you get that goofy pop that you never, I don't really need it, but it's kind of cool. on top of it, I mean, you can be the cool uncle, the cool aunt, the cool mom or dad that got the son, or the wife got the husband. You got me that figure. That's great. So it's, you got to find some really cool items here. There'll probably be some vinyl records. There'll probably be, again, I'm not even sure half the stuff that's showing up. So we've got, I think, about 50 or 60 spaces filled for just vendors, another 20 or so artists, crafters. Um, we have Live Uniquely. They actually do the Turvis cups that are really, really cool. They actually do ones like they have a Ghostbuster one that literally has like a green ooze coming off of it, like it's leaking out of it. So they do it themed. It's really cool how they actually make their Turvises. So, but it's simple stuff like that. I mean, that you're not normal craft fairs. You're going to go there. You're going to get certain things. This is going to be a geek fest. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Right, right. It's like it's like when your wife drags you to the craft show and you're like, yeah, there's nothing here I really want to see. But then you go to a Comic-Con and like, okay, this is what I'm looking for right
Exactly.
here.
Yeah. I always compare it to, like, a wife dragging you to a shoe store, like you said, a craft show, But this way here, we're kind of giving the best of both worlds. I mean, we always try to do stuff a little differently. I mean, my wife and I, we started as vendors. So we used to do 35 shows a year. And I mean, that's both of us working full time on top of it, having a family and whatnot. And we just, started doing this, and it's a lot of fun to see the smiling faces and to see all the kids and even the adults. I mean, how many times you see an adult walk up and say, "I had that when I was a child," So it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you're talking Christmas, getting the things that you want, not what you need. He-Man and Battle Cat back there were Christmas presents from my wife a couple years back. Last year I got Castle Grayskull.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, I'm not sure where he even got it from. He actually has a business card holder on his desk that's Castle Grayskull.
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, that's just, that's great. So
Very cool. Yep, these are the things we don't need, but these are the things we want.
I mean,
Absolutely.
You want to put a smile on someone's face, get them something nerdy. I mean, like I said, so.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, Brad, Josh and I have we've been doing the channel for 6 months, and we've really just started dipping our toes into like cons and things like that as we made more money. One of the things that I've noticed, I'm sure you probably noticed running the con, it seems like all of the vendors and even the people who attend, it feels like a great big family when you get there. There's this general love, and the kind of, I think maybe the outside world just kind of disappears, and you just become part of that con and a family for the whole weekend. How about your con? Does it feel that way for you guys as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been doing this. Oh, it's 7, 8 years that we've been actually doing shows, and we just, like I said, decided to start doing the cons. And a lot of the people that come to our shows, they're friends. Like you said, it's a family reunion, is what it basically is. I mean, they show up, and I've got friends that'll be here that I remember when their kids were, 7, 8 years old, and they're now teenagers. They're driving. I mean, they walk up to me and they shake my hand. I'm like, no, just go away. It's like, you're not supposed to be this tall. But it is that way, and you kind of grazed over it, but you can get away from the real world. There's just so much going on out there, no matter what side of the playing field you're on when it comes to politics, or doesn't matter who you love, doesn't matter what gender you are, what race you are. We're all a family, and that's what we try to really instill in it. It's, me personally, I don't care who you actually call your husband or your wife or whatnot. If you're happy, you're happy. I mean, that's the biggest thing about this. And how can you not be happy around collectibles and toys and art and just, and like I said, and seeing other people smiling? I mean, it's one of the biggest things. It's, someone said to me this morning, I was in a meeting on my regular job, and someone made a comment. They said right out, they said, start every conversation, start every morning with a smile, and your day will be so much different. And everyone else will look at you differently. So, and again, it's, there was, a lot of people know this, but the founder of Heinz Ketchup, he literally hired somebody, and you can look this up. He hired someone years ago to walk around his factory smiling. That's it.
Nice. Nice.
That was the job, just to walk around and smile. And when you see someone else smile, what you're going to smile too. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So again, it's just, you walk into a Comic-Con, and it doesn't matter if it's a Comic-Con in Fayetteville, or if it's one in Wilmington or Charleston or, Havelock, here in Myrtle Beach. You go in there to have fun. You go in there to enjoy it and to be a kid again. I'm 51 years old, and I'll be a Toys R Us kid till I die. So
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm right there. I'm 49, so I'll be 50 next year. So it's but I don't want to grow up. I mean, I love reading
no.
comics. I love collecting toys, and it's fun to do. I mean, there's so many great things happening there right now, especially for our age. Like all the comics we used to read now, they're starting to turn them into movies, and we're actually seeing them come to life. And all of these people who are making them are us basically reading the comics and playing with the toys when we were kids.
Yeah.
So
I actually have so we have a bunch of volunteers that come in to help us out. The local high school here, Carolina Forest High School, they have a cosplay group. Sorry, a Comic-Con group. We actually have a cosplay group from Coastal Carolina. They're coming in. They're going to run our cosplay contest for us. But Carolina Forest actually has a Comic-Con club. So kind of back when we were younger, you had the band club, you had the glee club, you had the debate club. They have a Comic-Con club. So they hit me up a while ago, and they said, some of the kids that love to come in, and some of them, they're, not everyone's that well off. So they were like, we're not questioning your prices, but, I said, hey, I can use some volunteers, so come on in and actually, watch a door for me for 45 minutes and then walk around for a half hour, and then maybe go ask some of the celebrity guests for some water, and if they want some water or whatnot, and then again, maybe work out of the entire day, 3.5 hours. I'm not gonna make you stand at a door for 6 hours straight. But then the next day, come on back, on me. Thank you for helping me out. So I went in and I was talking to them, and I got to talk to the whole group. And they had a huge Loki poster on the wall in the classroom. And I told them, an honest story. I said, so years ago, my wife and I have been together 34 years now. So years ago, when we first started dating, she'd come over to my house and we'd be watching MTV. And like I said to them, that's back when there was music videos on there. And so we're sitting there watching music videos, and I've got a blanket over in the corner covering some boxes, and she never knew what it was. So fast forward about 4 years later, and we're moving in our own apartment together, and I'm carrying these long white boxes up the stairs. And she looks at me, she said, what are those? I said, they're my comic books. She said, they're what? And I thought to myself, well, this relationship is over, So she goes, let's look at them. And she started going, she goes, these are really cool. And I'm thinking, holy crap, I hit the jackpot.
yeah.
She started collecting, Disney movies and all this other stuff. And now here I am, I'm standing in a classroom 30 years later, and they've got Loki on the wall. When I was a kid, you hit it. You were different if you read comic books. You were almost weird. Nowadays, you're weird if you don't, because it's just so mainstream now. And I told them, I said, I had to hide it, and you guys are just blaring it out there. So it's kind of great how it's like you said, all the comics we read as kids growing up. I mean, I've been collecting for over 40 years, and now I get to flip on a DVD or go to Disney Channel and watch Iron Man, one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid. Now I can watch 1, 2, and 3 and the Avengers, and who would have ever thought it? It's back when we were kids, and you guys would probably both agree. We used to look at all the different stars and celebrities that are in different TV shows and different movies and say, he'd be an awesome Blade, or he'd be an awesome Gambit, or I could see him playing this. And it's just, now it's happening. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Back then we had Superman, and that was kind of about it.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah.
The best Superman, though. Christopher Reeve was the best. He's the one I grew up with.
He'll never be matched. Again,
Right.
I kind of watched the Christopher, was it George Reeves, the original black and white ones. I was watching some of that as well. And but Christopher Reeves was just amazing. And I always said that Superman Return movies with Brandon Routh, Brandon Routh, I swore he was trying to act like Christopher Reeves as Superman. He wasn't trying to be Superman, but
absolutely. Absolutely. One of the other guests you've got coming, I think Josh has got his in view. You can kind of see mine. Karen Whitfield is going to be there as well.
Yep.
We are really good friends with Karen. She is just a delight to be around. If anybody hasn't met her when they come down to Grand Strand, they need to make sure they make it over to her table. I know you guys probably have worked with her before, but she is just a wonderful person to be
No
around.
question. Yeah, no
Yeah.
question. I actually met her at her first ever Comic-Con last year, and we hit it off right from the get-go. She has a smile that lights up the room.
Yeah.
She is just so. If there's a perfect woman on the planet, I'm pretty sure they molded Karen into that, because she's just so nice, so sweet, so genuine. You're absolutely right. If you show up to Grand Strand and only meet Karen, it's worth the price of admission.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's kind of ask. Now you did mention there will be a cosplay contest, correct?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep,
What day? Is that going to be on Saturday or Sunday for that?
Both. So
Okay.
what we do is on Saturday we're going to have the adult cosplay contest. So basically, come on out dressed in your best. Like I said, I mean, surprise us. I mean, it's kind of cool that you see people walk in. And then on Sunday we actually have the kids cosplay contest. So there's all different types of prizes. We actually have everything from tickets to Ripley's Aquarium here in town, to gift certificates, to just the list is endless. Like I said, I mean, we've had so many people donate stuff for us. So
Nice.
So yeah, it'd be really, really cool. We're hoping we're going to kind of there's a kind of a big one coming in. We might actually have a nice large prize for both from a local store here in town. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of some good gifts. They're all going to get certificates. There's been the girls from the cosplay group at Coastal Carolina. They've come up with some really cool ideas, some unique ideas, with it being Grand Strand, and our basically mascot is a great white shark. So they're kind of working that kind of feel there with the different shark species. And so it should be exciting. Like I said, we're looking forward to it. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. As far as do you have any other panels planned as well, or are we just?
Yep. I was just sitting here before you guys actually brought me on. We're going to probably have a panel with Corey Rockbottom Davis. He's actually got Jet Boy. He's the artist out of Columbia. He's supposed to be supposed to explode here real soon with a bunch of animation and whatnot. Brian Drummond, the voice of Vegeta, and Joshua Seth. We're going to probably have them do a panel about voice acting and anime and stuff that way. Noah Hathaway, we're going to have him actually do a discussion about growing up as basically a kid in movies, a child in movies. So I mean, that's when he really started out. So, and then Night Mage, we're gonna have him actually do something, regarding cosplaying, and he does everything. He volunteers, like I said, he donates a lot to charities and stuff. So that's why we really wanted to bring him in, because he's amazing to start out with, and then on top of it, he does this, for charity. And we're going to have Tom O'Connell. I mean, you got to have Darth Vader talk about Star Wars and working on the set and stuff like that. So I mean, it's so yeah, we're going to have about five or six panels, and then the cosplay contest, and we got a gaming area. So we actually have a local shop here in town. They're going to set up some tables, teach people how to play Warhammer 40K. Might actually have some other stuff out there, So I'm getting phone calls and text messages and emails, and hey, what about this? What about this? Let's do it. Come on, let's fill the place. Let's have a blast. Let's make the weekend one that nobody forgets. So
awesome.
Now, you've mentioned the actors and all that in the panels. How about independent comic creators?
So we have K-Land is coming out. He has a really cool, looks like a cat-based comic book that he actually creates. We actually have, what is it?
Two-Land.
That's what it is. I'm trying to visualize it, and I apologize. Like I said, my brain is frazzled right now. Like I said, it's again, we've got Bud Root with Cave Woman, and there's a few others kind of like working their way up. They're actually, they got the original artwork and whatnot. So it's, I mean, if I had to go over the list right now, I could probably find all of them. But there's gonna be a handful of local artists that are actually working in the industry. They're One actually has a Kickstarter going right now that we actually shared on our Facebook page. So yeah, there's a few independent artists that are actually coming in, and writers and whatnot too.
Awesome.
Awesome. We love the independent comic creators. We have really enjoyed meeting them and reading their stuff. It's been refreshing, like gives us a break from the Marvel DC world. So we really enjoy reading
Absolutely.
the independent
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Like I said, I'm a big Spawn fan. I mean, that's my biggest. I mean, that's growing up as a kid, it was Iron Man and it was Green Lantern. Those were my two favorites,
yeah,
and then they did the crossover and they did the Iron Lantern, and I was like just a little fangirl running around in circles going, they're together now,
I have
yeah,
that book.
I do as well. I actually have it, and the inker that actually inked that book, Greg Adams, actually lives in Columbia, and I'm friends with him.
Nice.
nice.
So I had him sign it and everything. So like I said, but
Very
yeah,
cool.
I had to get that book when I first saw it again. I was like a fan.
Very
And then
cool.
when Spawn came out, I just got addicted.
Spawn is a great character. He is one of the best characters created over the past probably 30 years by
Yep,
far.
yep.
So
I'm actually in an online gaming guild. So again, I'm 51-year-old nerd, but I'm in an online gaming guild, and my gamer tag is actually Spawn. So everybody knows me as Spawn. And
nice.
the guild that we're in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest active running online gaming guild. And
Very cool.
yeah, so when Todd McFarlane actually got the record, for the longest running independent comic book, and he actually put it on Facebook, I actually put my little certificate I had, because he said I finally got Spawn in the Guinness Book of World Records, and I said I got it a couple years ago. I'm not sure how well that went over with him, but that's
Nice. Cool. All right, so let's give the people some idea. First off, we're going to be at the Myrtle Beach Convention Center, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're right behind Broadway at the beach. We actually, the hours are going to be on Saturday. It'll be 10 to 5. Sunday will be 11 to 5. We also try to do it. I mean, we want the vendors to kind of enjoy, their time while they're here. So Broadway, the beach is a block away. So there's stuff to do there as well. I mean, so people that are coming in out of town, come on in. We got a discounted rate at the Sheraton at the convention center. It's like $120 a night, plus fees, and the fees aren't too bad, extra. But come on in. I mean, spend Saturday night there, and go out to dinner there at Broadway at the beach, and make it a weekend. I mean, like I said, it could be a lot of fun. Could be a lot to do, and like I said, we want to wow everybody. So.
Okay. Josh, do you have any other questions or anything that you can think of?
I think we've hit it all. I'm excited. I'm ready to be there and see all these folks. The only one I know we didn't mention that I thought was going to be there is our buddy Hector. I think he's going to be there, right, Chris?
Yeah, Faith and Fandom, Hector Murray will be there.
He's amazing. Like I said, I'm not sure if he got a table this year. I'm not sure if he was able to because of, he does all the church work on Sundays. Again, I'll check with my wife. I mean, I work full time Monday through Friday, so I come home and I'm like, "How are we doing?" And she's like, "So and so called us this one." So we've been reaching out to everyone that's done our other shows and whatnot, and he's always been a big supporter of us. He's a good friend. Again, goes right back to we go right back to the family reunion style, of the Comic-Con scene. I mean, it's we walk into rooms and people were just, hey, DJs, or because we were DJs decals for the longest time. And, or hey, Brad, hey, Jen, we've had dinner with so many people, celebrities and other vendors, and again, it's an awesome group, big.
Oh yeah. So
group.
let me ask you this: DJs, I'm sure DJs decal will be represented as well there. I'm sure you're going to have your decals there as well, probably.
We actually are not. So one of these we try not to set up our own. So we were thinking about it, and then to be honest, it's just the getting closer and closer got way too quick. Got here. My son, who is DJ, and he's a Brad Jr. We call him DJ. He's in Colorado right now. He comes home tomorrow. Couple of years back, we sold off our huge banner and stuff, but we're getting ready to fire it back up. We're gonna probably start doing shows again next year. But with that being said, it's our feeling is I got enough to do to run around and actually make sure everyone's happy. I mean, no disrespect to any of the other promoters out there, because there's some amazing promoters, from Keith at Fayetteville to Dave and Rick up in Charlotte, Shelton up in Charlotte as well, Rob up in in Greenville. I mean, there's some amazing Mike down in Charleston. Amazing promoters up there. I like my face out there. I want all the vendors to know that I care. So I would rather be out there shaking their hands, making sure they're happy, making sure that, that we're doing everything right. Is there any questions, any feedback, good, bad, indifferent? Would you recommend something? How are you doing? I mean, again, I want them to know that I'm just not there looking to make money. I mean, we actually changed this over. We're a nonprofit, so we do a lot for local charities as well as Down syndrome research. We have a daughter with Down syndrome, so we do a lot with the Buddy Walk. There will actually be the local Down syndrome society is actually going to have a booth there.
Okay.
So again, I want my face out there. I want to concentrate on making sure everyone else is happy. Everyone else is, they know that I'm there and I'm focused on them. We will have Dimensions decals, which is one of our, can't say competition because they're actually good friends of ours. Started off not, and like I said, they were kind of taken aback, but there's enough people to go around to make as many decals as you possibly think of. But they will be there, so there will be decals for sale.
Awesome.
They sell some artwork as well. But yeah, so DJ's decals will not be represented other than our faces. So that's
right.
Awesome.
And that's important. So, and we are excited. We really have enjoyed meeting you. It was great to meet you in Wilmington. We're excited we got to talk to you tonight, and we're really excited to just be there next weekend. We'll get full on some turkey and stuffing and gravy, and then get in the car and drive down to Myrtle Beach and sell some comics, hopefully, and collectibles, and just meet a lot of really cool people. If
absolutely.
anybody's ever seen our channel, we love to do like cosplay videos. We'll shoot pictures and do like a huge cosplay, and we'll also do like an overview of the whole con itself, and give people an idea of what if they don't come, this is what you missed, and this is why you need to come next year.
Yes.
So yeah, we're super excited. We thank you for coming on tonight. We want everybody. I think one last thing I wanted to ask is to let people know the cost to get into the con. And
Yep. So for the weekend, it's actually $35 for both days, or it's $20 a day to enter. So we used to do a smaller show at Grand Strand. We actually did it. Our first three were actually in an old J.C. Penney. So it was still a large location, but the price was way down. The convention center, they're proud of their space, so that does cost a lot more. And then obviously with the celebrities and stuff, I think we have a good mix of celebrities that are coming in. So so the cost will be $35 for the weekend, $20 for each day, Saturday or Sunday, if you can only make it one day. So yeah, that's
right.
Awesome.
And it's well worth it to meet the celebrity. Come on, guys, you can meet Darth Vader. Who doesn't want to meet Darth Vader?
And that's the biggest thing. I mean, and I'll be honest. I mean, I've thought about it, trying to find a way to cut some corners and try to make it even, especially with everything with inflation right now, how expensive everything is. I mean, I want to try to make it worthwhile. And I've actually looked at some of the prices from other shows, and I try to stay a little bit lower if I possibly can. I mean, there's, shows every weekend. Yep. So again,
Absolutely.
like I said, we think it's gonna be worth it. We think it's actually gonna be well worth the price of admission. I mean, again, Darth Vader's there, Noah Hathaway's there, Space Ghost is there, Vegeta's there. So, and not to mention, all the collectibles. And where are you gonna walk into and actually find this kind of influx of just different geekdom? So.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Go home Thursday, eat turkey for Thanksgiving with your family, come to Myrtle Beach on Saturday and Sunday, and have Friendsgiving with all the people at the con.